Could you please ask the HR department? That is normally the question where you say, oh, please, no, please, not HR. And we have to talk about that situation. There are ongoing conflicts between leaders and experts and HR. And leaders and experts is not a contradiction with HR. However, the way HR is handled in many places and organizations is far away from being the best approach. And as we all know, we now have to look into the problems first. HR has a really bad reputation, especially in the English-speaking world. It's a lot better, or a bit better, in the German-speaking world, although it's declining there as well. HR does not have a great reputation, and now the question is, why is that the case? And one of the main reasons is that people say they don't know what we do here. They have no clue about the business. We don't know what they do. They are just turning papers from left to right and talking to applicants and managing phone appointments. So what is the deal with that? Why are they only doing that and not getting the best talent in? So people don't know what HR really does, and they assume that HR doesn't know anything about the business. However, in many cases, HR doesn't know a lot about the business, but also that has reasons. They want to know, but no one tells them. As long as you have leaders and experts in your organization and they say, hey, I only want results, get the best talent in, leave me alone. I don't have time for any of what you claim here, or any of the time you want from me. Just get me the best talents. And of course, that's not how it works. I can give you a real world example. HR makes a very specific request after they said, hey, we need the best people here. Could you please get us great talent? And they ask very specific questions about what does the department do, mission, vision, values, what is your goal, what people are you looking for, etc., etc., etc. And the answer was, thanks for all your questions, way long, didn't properly read. We don't have time for that. Just get us the best experts. We're looking for engineers, engineers, just get us engineers. And of course, anyone who works in engineering knows that it's a way too broad question to just ask for engineers. And in this delta, this gap, in this delta, in this gap lies the problem. And now we have to look at how to do it better. So step number one, we need cooperation and collaboration, not just communication. I often see a very one-sided communication, one-sided from both ways. Now you might ask, how is that working? How can it be one-sided from both ways? So either you have the leaders and experts saying, we need X, Y, Z, here's an email, get us these people or get us these results. Full stop here. We don't have time for anything else. That is very one-sided. Or HR says, hey, we need papers, or you need to complete that compliance training about money laundering or data protection laws or GDPR, whatever else. We have to tick the box here. Could you please do that? Thank you. We don't have time to discuss that. You have to do it. So it's a one-sided communication of just dropping an email here and dropping an email there. You should, of course, focus on a continuous progress, continuous way of making your relationship with HR a better one. However, many people struggle to have any positive relationship with HR, and we have to talk about why this is the case. And the main issue is that there is no proper approach to managing expectations. Managing expectations is something where many people talk about, but hardly anyone acts on it. Managing expectations is crucially important when you want to be successful in any kind of setting, because as long as you don't manage the expectations, no one knows what to do. I'll just give you an example. When you say we need talent, that is the typical approach from leaders and experts to HR. We need talent, get us the talent. The questions HR is now asking is crucial for finding the right platform, getting the right outreach, asking the right questions, selecting the right people, approaching the right platforms, not advertising when no one probably is that you're looking for, approaching the right people in the right way, using the right media, having the right approach, using the right methods for recruiting, having the right approach to how many rounds of recruiting you have, etc., etc., etc. But vice versa, of course. When someone says you need to know the business and HR asks questions and you say, I don't have time for that, that doesn't make any sense. However, when then the leaders and experts say we have a very specific approach, could you please help us here? For example, we need trainees and we need that they are able to do project management when they start here. And then HR says, sorry, we already have a program in place and that's a one-day workshop. And people say that's not enough, but HR says, well, we have good experiences with it. Well, you're evaluating your own work. And when you evaluate your own work, you will hardly ever say, well, that's rubbish, isn't it? you always will say we had good experiences with it. And that is why Professor Cunning from the University of Applied Sciences in Osnabrück in Germany, one of the leading scientists in the field of people development and HR, says people always say they had good experiences when you evaluate your own work. So please don't fall for that trap. As soon as you have, and you really, and I really mean you sit together and you put up a horizon of expectations where you simply say, look at the horizon, that's what we want to have. These are the expectations. And then you can focus on different aspects of that horizon, a bit more in that direction or a bit more in that direction, depending on time and budget and the case you're actually dealing with. But doing that in the first place is crucially important. I often see that leaders and experts do their job and HR is doing something. HR doesn't properly know what the others do, and many leaders and experts do not really know what HR does. And that is the worst situation you can have. So to get it to like one foundation principle, the foundation principle of this issue is both sides of the game can only be successful when they work together based on cooperation and collaboration, not just communication and dropping emails back and forth. Of course, we have a lot more about this. If you go to expert.nb-networks.com, you can register there, and then you get a weekly email of all my publications, which normally cost money, but you get them for free when you put your email address in there. It's 100% content at free guarantee. Every Wednesday morning, you get that email. And of course, when you say, hey, can we just have a brief chat? Can I talk to you? Yes, of course. nb@nb-networks.com, and then we take it from there. Just drop me an email. When you say, hey, we have very specific demands now, we need someone for training, speaking, coaching, consulting, or a mentoring project, or a bit more long-term project interim management, or hey, we have an event. Can you host that, run that, help us with it? Yes, of course I can. nb@nb-networks.com, and then we take it from there. Looking forward to talking to you. Of course, it's 100% confidential, and the last weeks were very productive and very positive. I have to thank you for that. The most important aspect now is to apply what you heard in this podcast. I can just tell you, I now was in New York City for 2 weeks. I'm basically sitting on my packed suitcases here when recording this, because I'm now flying back from New York City to London while I'm recording this. And it is crucially important that you develop your organization constantly. I'm not only talking about it, I do it by myself. And that is a very important aspect of your organization as well, which is why applying what you just heard is the most important step now. I wish you all the best implementing this in your organization. Always happy to help. Just contact me at any point in time. And at the end of this podcast, there's only one thing for me left to say. Thank you very much for your time.